Good morning once again. My name is Nyirenda. I'm Director of Economic Regulations at MACRA. I want to make this more interactive, not me just talking. I know it's a wild topic, wild in case, not like wide, but wide. That it's something that as a regulator, we're trying to push and ensure that landlocked countries are getting something meaningful connectivity and meaningful internet pricing within the borders. So this is a terminology that we crafted at the authority in liaison with our key partners. We have been engaging our stakeholders, and we've been thinking of how can we make internet affordable. I think I'm an economist, so bear with me. I'll not talk about the technical jargons that you all know and you've been hearing since yesterday and the other day. So basically, the diplomatic data corridors is we're trying to bring internet capacity within the landlocked countries at a closer rate that we get at the coastal countries. So the terminology should not scare you. It's something that we're trying to see. I mean, we know that other coastal countries, their pricing is way, way above. A good case is that do you have some people from South Africa? South Africa is one country which has high internet pricing within the country, despite that they have sea cables landing on their coast. So it's something that we look at other countries, say Tanzania, where it's costing less than $1 per meg. Can we replicate the same within the borders of landlocked countries? So basically, that's the idea. So I'll quickly talk about this, but stop me wherever you have a question. Stop me where you feel like, okay, what was the thinking behind this? And we also want to learn more from you. We started this we started this initiative around 2021, 22. And we have engaged as Malawi, we have engaged our border countries, that is Zambia, Mozambique, and Tanzania. And we feel that we are making some headway. And I'll be throwing the mic back and forth to Chester because we are working with Chester. Chester is at ESCOM, fiber optic. And we have worked and we have made much progress together with them. So basically, this is the outline of the presentation. As you can see, I'm trying to avoid details. Of course, there are so many things. So basically, we look at Malawi just like any other landlocked countries. There are about 44 landlocked or land-linked countries in the world. And these countries, you have no access whatsoever to the oceans or to the coast, meaning that we have these trade obstacles mainly from roads, infrastructure to railway lines. We are so confined within the borders of other countries. And out of those 44, 32 are the LDC. Chester is just coming in. Sorry, Chester, I'll be putting you on spotlight because of this topic. So you need to take a seat and listen attentive. So 32 are LDCs, actually LLDCs. These are what we're calling landlocked, least developed countries. Our income levels are way below. Malawi's GDP per capita is about $650 per annum. You see that this is way, way below other countries within the region as well as globally. What makes this to be unique is that we see that despite having a low income, and we thought that then our affordability measurement will also be favorable, but our data pricing to a local Malawian is way high. So it's like, do we go for the current rates that Chase, Brian, and OISPs are paying of about $30 per Mbps compared to less than $3 that our counterparts are paying on the coastal areas. So we look at that and say that, okay, there is something that is not making sense. When we engage our telcos, our ISPs, the key aspect has been on the contracts or the IRUs that they sign, you see that they are paying a lot. And these are 10 years, 15 years contracts that they are paying. And I think yesterday I had a chance to listen to when he was talking about NOx and all the issues of nodes. I mean, the O and M's in these contracts is all what makes these contracts to be expensive. But if I give you an example, say someone in Dar es Salaam and someone in Mbeya in Tanzania, if he's using a Tanzanian operator, he'll pay the same. So all these issues of transit cost in between and the like, they don't add up. It's because Malawi can also access closer to that if there's some sort of intervention. Engaging with Brian Chester, they always say that, okay, we are tied up. These contracts we signed and they're running and we can't do anything. Then we say that, I think there's something that we have to do with this high cost. So basically, I've already talked about what these DDCs are. It's all about that we want to have that dedicated internet transit routes into the landlocked countries. If someone in Dar es Salaam or someone in Maputo and someone in Mlanje in Mozambique can pay a similar data price, why should just across the border be the same? So that's how we're thinking, and that's how we thought that as government, as a regulator, we need to intervene and try to support our ISPs by engaging with our counter governments in Tanzania, Mozambique. So we started within the bloc, and we are going towards South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, so that we make sure that all the Southern Africa development region can be able, or Botswana, Zambia, Lesotho, and all the other countries that are landlocked. We should be Zimbabwe. We should be able to have this pricing that our coastal countries are benefiting. So you're all familiar with this map. I will not dwell much on it, but just the importance of this DDC. I think what you need to look to is on the landing points, and you look at all those inland countries. So I've just taken the southern part of Africa. You see that the inland countries are only getting capacity from those countries going up. But we believe that this initiative will provide those stable solutions or those stable routes that if we take from the coastal countries into the inland countries, we should be able to have a similar. So my topic here at the back of your mind, I always put it that it's about pricing. It's about affordability. It's about how we should make more people get connected and use these services. Because it's one thing to have networks and to have the fiber, the infrastructure, but are the people using it? So basically, that's the angle that we are taking. And as government, so this map from Liquid is very interesting. I don't know if I can jump on this and make sure that you can see. If you look at this part, this is Mozambique. If you see where Malawi is tapping the capacity, you see that it's coming from Maputo way down, from South Africa, Cape Town, down, going up. And I'm not trying to expose Liquid, but you see that Liquid has bypassed us. And even the eastern part of Mozambique it's not connected. For us, we feel that using engagement with Mozambique, we can tap from the 2 Africa cables going to Malawi. That will supply even across, will cut across this line. You can see that up to Angola. So you see that there is a potential. Apart from tapping from the landing points down there, we can also cut into Malawi, the ones coming from Tanzania and the one coming in Zambia. So on this part, we are already connected. But we believe that by having bilateral and these engagements with our counterparts, because all we feel is that apart from promoting the private investment, our government can also facilitate how you can also tap into these initiatives. And by doing that, we believe that if we have a state-to-state agreement at the top level, then it will be easier for the private players to go into this. So I've already talked about this, the Malawi setup. You see that our numbers are low, but we believe it's also because of the capacity that we are getting into the country. There's so many factors that are actually driving our uptake in terms of capacity. That's from the lack of digital content within the country. We're trying to promote that. Smart devices are low. The affordability, I've already talked about it. That's the gist of this initiative. So to date, we have signed these state-to-state agreements with Tanzania and Zambia. So it facilitates, or it gives players in Malawi a chance to negotiate better rates. And what we have noted is that though as in a liberalized economy, we don't want to dictate to our ISPs and operators, but we believe that commercial agreements that can be made with also state-owned companies in those countries, they are making life a bit easier. Chester signed a contract with those two, TTC and Fibercom, and we are now seeing the rates which are less than 3 Mbps. So we do believe that this will actually spur competition. It will give our ISPs that platform to renegotiate the IRUs, the long-term contracts that we do have. By that, we'll be able now to replicate that, that reduction in our contract pricing to the end user. We are finalizing with Mozambique and Namibia. Mozambique, everything is done. It's just a matter of translation. They operate in Portuguese, we operate in English, and that's the only hiccup that is remaining. We do believe that with the president of Malawi in Mozambique this week, we should have some indication on how we can conclude that. Landing in Namibia is key. We need all the routes so that if he's coming from Namibia, it passes Botswana, Zimbabwe, or Zambia into Malawi. We believe that that will help us. And like I've indicated, that these have resulted in renegotiating with those state-owned commercial enterprises to have significantly way below average pricing. I was talking about that map on the by Liquid, that it gives some benefits. It gives more benefits to the Africa as a nation, as well, but also we're looking at globally. So we'll go beyond. This initiative can go beyond the borders of Africa. One of it is that there are more blossoming projects out of this. One of it is the one I was given, that cutting from the east part on the Nakala side. Government Malawi have this in our national strategy to put a Nakala Liwonde fiber optic. So by doing that, you know that once it reaches Malawi, because despite two Africa landing in Nakala, there is no cable that is cutting across, apart from using the existing Mozambican operators. But we do believe that this initiative will provide that dedicated route. So we have the MACRA to Liwonde, and once it runs into Malawi, our operators will take it to the other side. So it will cut into Zambia, it will go into Angola. That means that we have that dedicated route there. And it will provide the shortest transit capacity, apart from taking the capacity from the southern tip of Africa. And we have seen that it's now encouraging partnership and collaboration. The way we have brought in the 3 governments that are surrounding us, there is also more private interest that is coming in. We have key operators that are knocking on our door and say that they want to partner in these kind of projects, and that we believe that this is all because of the diplomatic level engagement that government took to initiate. And ultimately that we want to see that our prices are affordable in the country. So basically, this is the initiative. We hope that in the next 12 to 3 years, 12 months to 3 years, that is 1 year to 3, 1 year to 3, we should be able to see that pricing is going down, mainly in Africa. And we hope that these will now not make landlocked countries, but they'll make us to be land-linked countries, so that there is no barriers to trade. There's no barriers that we can take that there is high pricing in land-linked countries, because we are far, far away from the coastal areas. And as a country, as Malawi, as government, I think we do believe that this cannot work on its own, but we need all the players, especially the ISPs, to push this agenda. Thank you very much for your attention. I thought it would be other people, not Brian.
Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry, I just had to, ask a question. I think with this, the gains or the progress that has been made with this particular initiative is substantial and significant. Thank you very much. Really, a lot of ground has been covered in the last 2 years. But coming from a small ISP, very small ISP standpoint, I think for me, the troubling or the concern is more to do with the level of buy-in or uptake from the local operators into this initiative to support it. So at the moment, at CTN, we are buying 1 gig of upstream, actually more like 500 MB. Hopefully it will be a bit soon. 3, 4, 5 other ISPs are at the same level, buying their own, contracting individually with an international carrier or a regional carrier to get 1 gig here, 1 gig there. Of course, the likes of Airtel, TNM, they have volumes, they buy a lot. To what extent can we be able to consolidate these requirements, not just requirements, but actually consolidate these capacities to be able to actually use this and put it to bring it to the customers effectively? I'm talking more on behalf of the small networks. I know the TNMs of this world and the Airtels of this world, and international capacity is no longer a headache as much as it used to be. So what advice would you give? What maybe encouragement would you give NP? Because you're the regulator, you have muscles, right? Will you flex some of those muscles to try and get us to see common sense? You know, we are parents. I think a good number of us in this room are parents. Sometimes our children don't always see the benefits in something that we're telling them to do now because they're young. So, you know, as our, you know, in a sense, custodian, if we are reluctant, would you be willing to use your muscles to help us comply? Thank you.
There are some other should I take it or some hands? All right. Let me attempt to Brian's question. Basically, it's not a question, but we see like what as a regulator we're thinking. At the moment, I'm looking at Chester and Nkwaji at the back because, like I indicated, Chester, you want the mic? Okay, so while you're waiting for the mic, let me attend to that. How can we encourage or how can we bring all the ISPs in one place and to ensure that we consolidate and aggregate the capacity? The thinking behind or asking, letting ESCOM to take the lead was that they'll bring the capacity into the country. And as you're aware, we did a consolidation. We did a consolidation of the capacity that each ISP demands. The idea is that Chester will bring that capacity. You have your existing agreements and contracts. You weigh which offers a better rate. Chester is not going to come to you and force you to use his, but competitively. That's what we believe, that if there's more competitive pricing on the market, it will attract the ISPs to be on board. This is the same statement that we have from our big MNOs, that they'll prefer to move away from their existing IRUs to move to more affordable, as long as there's stability, there's continuity in the flow of the service. So let me just give 2 minutes to Chester, then I can go.
Yeah, you have just said what I wanted to say, that yes, the consultation I think was already done. The MACRA was asking for the ISPs their capacities that we use. So MACRA has got an idea how much we are consuming as a country. But the issue of forcing, it's a free market. We need to be in a competitive mode. So the whole issue of having the diplomatic data conference is to bring down the pricing. That if you negotiate yourselves with the other upstream providers, the price may not be the same. So using the diplomatic data conference, we be able to bring down the pricing and make a choice whether you want to take it from the local side or you want to take it directly yourselves. The other advantage of the local is because of the forex issues. You deal with the Malawi culture, while one provider is taking over all the programs. As Andrew has said, we have really advanced on the diplomatic dialogue, especially with Tanzania. We negotiated the price initially, which was good. But over the past 3 weeks, we have renegotiated the price, which has come relatively good. So in the next 2 weeks or so, we are doing the testings and everything else. So we'll come back and say, here we are, and this is the price. And we think that price should be competitive enough to bring in the small ISPs and come in and take the capacity from the other companies. So that's where we are.
And you have already approved those prices. Chester, 3, is it what? You can say it, but I think it's for, I don't know, is it for the contractual now? the negotiation with the. Yeah, they'll be made public. They'll be made public, but because we haven't gone through all the processes, but these are less than five what? The initial one was 5.
The initial one was PCL was giving us at 6.
Oh yeah, 6.6. But this one is less than that.
This one is much less than that. Less than 6. Which is hovering around 4, 3, 6, 3.6.
There was a hand. We're still with Brian, or? Yeah, please. Okay, yeah. Let's continue. I think that's one. That's IP. That's IP. So Simbanet, you need to look into your pricing and pull up your. We're not giving out sweets this time around. There's a hand at the back there. Sorry, I'll do the moderating as well.
Okay. Anyways, so all I wanted to know is, because I remember at the MACRA Open Day, even Madam Thomasanachi, we just spoke briefly on this. But she also never quite elaborated on the security measures that are going to be put into place in order to protect the data that is being transmitted through the DDC Malawi, and how you're planning on enforcing them.
Can you come out at how we are planning to enforce the? I didn't hear the last part of it. You say how we are planning to enforce the security measures.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish Steve was here. Like I said, I'm an economist, but I'll try to attempt that. So basically, I think with the Data Protection Act that is in place, as well as the cybersecurity, all measures will be put in place so that the data within Malawi, as well as that will be taken out of the borders, should be protected. All issues of personal data and whatever, we'll make sure that the contracts that will give any operator, because in this case, it's not only ESCOM that will be bringing commercially the capacity into Malawi, but any operator who will ride on the DDC. So, Brad, it's not that you only wait for Chester. You can also go beyond the borders and use the DDC as your leverage point to get better. So that should also not limit you. No, I know Simbanet, but I know Chester. So the state to state, we leave it to Ainiage, to the owners that we also want all operators. But what we want to do is, already have those categories of licensing, and you cannot go in another market without. So in terms of the security issues and measurement, they'll be followed, and all operator will be riding on the DDC should comply with that. Like I said, that I wish Steve or our Rigo guys were around, but all the regulations will be followed, and it has to be complied accordingly. Thank you. There's another one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. I understand you want to lower the prices, but then I wanted to ask, are you doing anything towards the user to promote the uptake of the internet connectivity?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, there are so many initiatives that as a regulator we are undertaking. I think I did mention in terms of when I was saying Malawi setup, it was, when I was putting these slides, I did a quick job on doing them. But one of the challenges is on the device. So I put local content and device. Let me start with the device. Now we have an initiative that we do know that affordability starts from the device up to the usage of the service. The devices are more expensive in Malawi. An average smartphone in Malawi is about $80. That's about 100. That's a basic. you see. So borrowing from countries like Rwanda, we have put up a concept, and I think it was in the newspapers that we're trying to look for a consultant to assist us in the commercial transaction for setting up a local device assembly. So that's just one way. In Rwanda, it's working, and also the MNOs or the operators are also doing the same, where they're coming up with more affordable devices that are on the market. And I think Airtel Rwanda is actually selling some of these, I think around $16 per device. So it's also the similar initiative that we want to take in Malawi. First of all, that people should have the devices. If you look at the numbers that we have on smartphone, you see that they are way, way lower. We have less than 2 million subs owning a smartphone. So one of the initiatives is to have a local device assembly point within Malawi, similar to what Rwanda is doing. Other countries are also taking it up. In Kenya, so they're doing it under the Konza metropolitan city, something. They're doing the same. But also on the lack of digital content in Malawi, we're trying to promote in terms of local content, development of local content. There's so much that is happening in Malawi. And it's only that the way we package it and how people use it is not. So we have an initiative under the Universal Service Fund. I don't know if Ronald had talked about it. That's how we're trying to promote local content development in the country. So by doing that, we hope that we will encourage in terms of content that is created in Malawi and consumed within Malawi. And in addition to that local content, I think all ISPs here are aware that we are establishing the Lilongwe and Nzuzu ISPs so that we make sure that the content that is in Malawi should be within the borders of Malawi. And by doing that, meaning that pricing should be lower because the traffic will be in Malawi. But we also want to promote that content to go across the borders. So there are a number of initiatives that we're doing, but we cannot do it just as a regulator or government, as a policy holder. We also need the ISPs to encourage and promote the use of or the creation of local content in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.